Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, or good evening. No matter where you're joining us from today, welcome and thank you very much for tuning into this Event Tech 360 webinar where we're going to talk about the all-in-one event management tool by 6Connex. We're going to talk about today what are the good steps to take in the event organization process and how the technology can answer the needs that we have in that process. But before we move into that part, I'll just wanted to give you a quick technical details. Remember that your view on the streaming window. So if you want to fit the screen into your preferences, you can do that. So feel free to use it to your preferences. We're also hosting this webinar on our Eventry by 6Connex platform. So make sure you also enjoy our features right here in the streaming window. You have a group chat where you can just share your opinions with the other attendees. You also have some information from our moderator popping in from time to time. You have a live questions tab where please make sure you add all your questions throughout this webinar. We have a dedicated Q&A session at the very end of this webinar, but we can collect the questions throughout the whole webinar, so don't be shy. We have reactions on chat. We're going to have a quick voting poll right in a moment, surveys, and whenever you feel like it, you also have the possibilities of networking. You can engage in chat with other attendees, also set up meetings. So I hope you're going to enjoy that possibility as well. We have some amazing attendees today with us. So yeah, let me welcome you again with my colleague, Joanna Capone, who's our head of event technology product here at 6Connex. I'm super happy that Joanna is joining us today on this webinar. She has been involved in event industry for so many years, first as an event manager, so she knows all the struggles and challenges an event manager may face. So yes, she understands a lot of your problems probably with events and how difficult that job is. But for the last couple of years, she's been the designer that creates our event technology. So she's been using the insights that she had from event manager's life into creating a great product that addresses the needs of an event organizer. So hello, Joanna. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, everyone.
And my name is Barbara Kozanecka. I'm marketing coordinator here at 6Connex, also involved in the event industry for a couple of years now, and even longer with marketing. So I'll be happy to introduce you to that more of a theoretical side of the event lifecycle, which is the first step on our today's agenda. Then we'll move to this technology to the rescue part. So this is the part where Joanna is going to show us in practice how to address the needs of an event organizer with technology. And as I already mentioned, we're going to have a Q&A discussion at the very end. We're already looking forward to answering your questions and getting into that discussion with you. So let's start first with a quick voting poll. Right now, or in a moment, in the event chat window, you should be seeing a button that will be redirecting you to the voting poll. We have just two quick questions right there for a little warm up to our session today. First question: how many events you organize throughout the year? Is it more like one monthly, so up to 20 per year, or maybe some people organize even more? And with that being said, also how many tools or platforms you currently use in the event organization and management process? I'm sure you are creating email campaigns, maybe use a separate tool for that. You may be engaging your attendees in chats or live questions. Maybe there are some additional tools in that as well. And we're going to just wait for a little while for the votes to come in, and let's see the results. I'm just going to quickly check on the results right here. So let's see what you guys think and what you say about that. Okay, so we have how many events do you organize throughout the year? This is very interesting. So all of you, actually 100% of people, say they're organizing up to 20 events, so more or less 1-2 per year. That's very interesting. And 1-2 per month, I'm sorry. And then when it comes to tools and platforms you currently use, it's around 4 to 7. Okay, so that's quite a few already. It's interesting how unanimous our audience is today, but that's great. We're going to possibly show you how we could minimize the number of these tools and just have it in just one for all of this. All right, let's get back to our presentation. And we're going to now start with the event lifecycle. So shifting gears, I'm going to go over the event lifecycle in detail and the event tech that supports this process. As you know, putting on an event is a lot of work. It requires a lot of collaboration, and there are many steps to the whole process, which usually occurs in a sequence. First, we plan, then we promote, we manage the registration or ticketing process. Then we have this pre-events part, we head live, and then we analyze data and analytics through the post-event part. And even though that event by event, the life cycle is sequential, we all know that managing events, it's not so straightforward. And truly, if you take a step back, event management is continuous. Whether you are managing multiple events or just one a year, we learn from every event what worked, what didn't. We review feedback and key data points, all of which feeds the event planning process for the next experience. So when we see on this graph, the last parts of data analytics, this is not where the event ends for us in this whole cycle, because this is just the beginning for another one. So we need to use this information and draw conclusions for the benefit of our further activities. So in fact, all of this great activities of planning, promotion, registration, pre-event, live, etc., are all connected to one another, creating a virtuous feedback loop at every step of the process. And additionally, it also feeds other core parts of the business, because as all of you know, we don't do events just for our pleasure, and all of this has a deeper meaning and deeper business goal, because at the very end, events are just a channel, our means to achieve our business goals, whether it's just increasing sales, lead generation, maybe strengthening the company communication, or helping our employer branding or recruiting new people. There's always a business goal standing behind organizing an event. And that all fuels the next steps that we take on. And also, no matter which event process you are working through, you can always enhance and extend the scope of your events. So this is where it's good to remember that the technology you're working on, the solution that you're working with, should have that opportunity to integrate with your other solutions. I imagine that when we're organizing an event and when you're organizing an event, you'd want to have that possibility to link it with your CRM. Maybe you'd like to have some other tools that you like and are core to your business that you'd want to improve. So this is always allowing you to make the next event better and unique every time. let's review the first part of that process, which is planning. So this is the process of defining the event, which transforms into tangible deliverables and assignments for managing the entire event. This is the moment when you decide on the business goals that each event is solving. This is the moment when you decide that, okay, so in order to achieve this goal with my event, I should make it an online event or an in-person event, or maybe combine the two realities and create a hybrid event. And then, having decided on that, you move into deciding whether you're going to a registration at that event or whether you're going to sell tickets. Then you need to move to the more practical setup. So create a landing page or registration page. Think of the schedule, invite speakers, everything that will then be a good information and good content for you to use in the next step. And the next step is the event promotion. So once you have all of that created, you want to reach out to your audience. You want to target the right people. This is also where data and analytics from your previous events come into play. So you can use that in order to find your audience, to know where actually they are, how to get it with your information to reach them. And this is also when your attendees have that first interaction with your event, with your advertisement, then when they reach your landing page. So already at this point, you need to make sure that the experience that they have with your brand, with your event is just amazing. This is also when the communication starts. So you may want to be using maybe email marketing in order to communicate with your target group. You'll probably be using social media. You're going to do all sorts of different channels that will eventually make your attendees, make your users, make your audience become your event attendees. So in the third part, we get to the registration or ticketing. Because once the communication is out, our solution or your solution and integrations bring together the registrations, ticketing, groupings, and more into a single location. So after you send the communication to your attendees, the message is out, the channels are working, and getting your message to your right audience. People are going to come to that landing page and register. So you need to have them a good experience because they are going to either pay for the ticket or they're going to pay, with their data for the registration. So make sure they understand the value behind that, and that you also have a good tool that will streamline the entire process. You don't want to be thinking about, for example, later on rewriting tons of Excel data sheets and spreadsheets to make sense of all of that. When it comes to tickets, you also want to have a good tool that will group all the payment methods in one. What is important here is also that once people register and they become your event attendees, you start to build your event community. So this is already the moment where when your attendees can start networking. If you give them the possibility to. But it's good to remember that from the very first moment when you reach out to your attendees with the communication saying that, hey, I'm doing this event, I think it's really cool, you should join in. You start the whole process of nurturing that relationship with your attendees or with your future attendees, all in all with your audience. So you want to make sure that this communication, this contact is ongoing, that they feel nurtured, they feel happy, they feel like they have some sort of relationship with you. And you want to use that relationship later, because engaged attendees are the greatest attendees because they will give you the most necessary feedback and they'll truly enjoy their experience with you. Next, we have the pre-event moment, a pre-event phase. So this is where we're doing all the final touches before the event happens. If you're doing a virtual event, this is the moment where you want to finalize the webcasting. And if you're doing an in-person event, this is the crucial moment to keep in touch with your attendees. They'll be getting to the venue. You may want to give them the right guidance on how to get there, to keep them always in the loop of information, and also give them a space where the attendees can network and communicate with each other within the event, within the event environment. Because maybe if they're traveling from a different city, they could just get in touch with each other and go together and already create new contacts, which will then be a valuable feedback for you for the next event. Make sure you have a good chat rooms. You have the attendee list that will be good for the attendees to also see. The networking already starts. When there are exhibitors and partners in play, they also want to make sure that they can reach your audience and realize, achieve their business goals. Then the big moment comes, right? We're going live, and there are two things that are the most crucial during that period. First, you as organizer, you need to have a system in place, a tool maybe, that is going to enable you to react to any abrupt changes in real time. And that this process is easy, because we know that if anything can go wrong during an event, it is going to happen when it's already live. And this is a hectic time for every event organizer. And it's good to be prepared and to have a partner, for example, in technology that understands that and will be able to support you throughout that process. When it comes to attendees, the networking and engagement are the most important part, no matter what form of the event we're doing. If it's in person, if it's hybrid, or if it's virtual, the engagement of the attendees is a crucial part to the success of the event. Because in the very end, we want to keep our attendees happy. If they're happy, they're going to come for a next event. They're going to talk well about your the experience that they had with you. So in this case, make sure you're engaging your community. You're also having a lot of possibilities for your audience to engage with each other, with your event, with your speakers, with the exhibitors, with partners that you have at the event, and so on. What is also important that for one of the big goals of events is the networking. So when attendees join the event, they want to make sure that they're going to meet the right people there. Maybe they're going to be able to generate new leads. Maybe they'll be able to make valuable contacts or meet the people that they already know and nurture that relationship. So make sure you have a solution in place that will enable you and your attendees to get in contact, to get in touch with other people, and make that networking even more efficient, because that's why they'll exactly know who they should talk to. And then last but not least, we have the part where we finish our event. When we go to that post-event phase, we need to look at our reports, we need to look at our data and draw conclusions. What is important here is that our communication with the community does not end at the very moment where the virtual or real doors of the event venue are closed. Make sure you maintain that contact with your attendees so you keep the communication going. You send the thank you notes. Surely, if you're organizing any other events, this is the moment when you want to let the attendees know that there are other possibilities for them to get in touch with your content, to follow what you're saying, and get any new valuable information from you, because there's more to that. Also, this is the moment when your reporting starts. So you want to make sure that this process is also easy and it's streamlined, and you're not going to spend a whole week by merging data from different tools, on creating all sorts of reports for different stakeholders. and just showcasing how this event was a success. So just make sure that you get the data, you use the data that you collected from the entire process, and use it in order to draw conclusions and make better business decisions. And you know what? Use that for the very next event that you're going to do. So this is also basically like the first step, like 0 step to the next event, because then the cycle starts all over again, right? And you can use this data and just go to another one and do it even better, because you've learned so much from the first one. You know better what your attendees want, and you're just doing a much better job. So this concludes my part about the whole event life cycle. So I'm going to now pass this virtual microphone to Joanna, who's going to lead you through our solution, through our answer to the organizer's needs. Joanna, the floor is yours. The scene is yours.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, so like Barbara just described, whenever you're doing an event, it's a process, right? And it is very, very important that technology, whatever you are using, that it is actually supporting you through that process. So it's very important to have a solution that is going to be flexible, not only in the type of the event that you are doing, so that you can use it for in-person, virtual, or hybrid events, but also in the features that you have, right? So you not only want to have one platform for all of the event types, you also need to have one platform for most of the features that you will be using, because if you don't, then you run into the problem of actually having the reports and data from all different places and spending lots of time on analyzing that data. So it's very important to remember that when you are choosing your event technology, remember that it has to be able to support you in any case you are going to actually find yourself in, right? We had COVID, we need to have virtual events. Now we are hopefully post-COVID, we will be going back to in-person events, or maybe at some point hybrid events. So basically, you need to make sure that your technology solution can do that it can support you in all of those cases. And then, like I said, doesn't matter which type of event you go with, the platform should have all of the most important tools within it, so that you can ditch the manual process, that you don't have to go from one tool to another, you don't have to worry about the data flow, integrations, and all of that. Of course, you can integrate with tools that are outside of the event software, right? But within the event platform, the most important things should be in the platform itself. And just one comment. So I have been, like Barbara said, in event industry for a long time. And I had a chance to actually start building the software way before COVID, right? So our platform has started in the physical events world. And this is how we built it. And only during COVID, we had to pivot, adjust, and of course, facilitate the virtual events as well. But what is very important for me to note and to really point out is that we learned a lot during COVID. We tools, technology, but also event managers. We learned a lot. We learned how to take advantage of event technology. We learned how to use technology. We kind of got used to it. We made our attendees get used to it. So I think it's very, very important to remember that going back to physical events, do not forget everything you've learned, right? So try to actually think about ways how you can take your lessons from COVID, from being in virtual event, to physical, if that's what you decide to do next. And the same goes with hybrid. In any kind of form, in any kind of physical aspect of the event, remember that you learned a lot during virtual phase of event industry. And now if we are going to go back, do not repeat the past mistakes. Do not go back to a manual process. Really think about how you can really leverage what you already have and what is out there, because many, many, many great technology tools has been created during that process. Okay, so Moving on, I'm going to focus on our platform, on our tool, what we have and how it can support you within this whole process. So I'm going to start with the overview so that you have like bird's eye view on what we actually have. And then I'm going to go through all of the phases that Barbara went through when she was describing the process itself. So I wanted to explain to you that we have tools for both the organizer, but also for the attendee. So when it comes to the organizer, when it comes to you, the event managers, we have different components within our ecosystem of tools. So we do have this web-based operator dashboard, the operator panel. When you have all of the events in one place, the whole platform is very intuitive, so you can actually just easily learn how to use it. But we also have mobile aspects and mobile component to our platform. So we have Inventory Operator mobile app, which is a great supporting app during in-person events when you don't have the option to actually be at your laptop or have it in your hands whenever you're running around at the physical venue. So we do have the Inventory Operator mobile app, which will allow you to have the most important features, the most crucial features that you should be able to use during the event right there in your phone, in your pocket, wherever you go. And then we also have Inventory Scanner, which is a separate app that is meant to support you during, again, physical events. So this is a QR code scanner that you can leverage for either lead generation or attendee tracking, or you can measure different things, how people flow through your event venue, through your event. So that's from the organizer's perspective. So again, we have the dashboard that is web-based dashboard, and then 2 separate mobile apps to support you during the live event itself at the physical venue. And then from the attendee point of view, we again have those 2 aspects of our components. So we have web-based landing pages and registration and ticketing, but also we have this event space, as we call it, where the online events actually happen. So you are in the event space right now, and this is where the event is taking place. But then when we are at the physical event or hybrid event, we also have Inventory app, which is a separate app, which is a mobile app. If you want to, you can go to App Store and download it, see for yourself how it works. So basically, it is the app for the attendees, where they will find all of the information about the event, networking features, engagement features, and anything else that attendees might need during the live event. So that was the overview. Let's go to the specifics, right? So I think this is the most important part. So mirroring what Barbara said, we start with event planning. So first thing you need to figure out is this event is going to be in person, hybrid, or virtual. And like I said, it's very important that technology can support you in any kind of event you decide to do. You don't want to switch event software. That's not a good idea. You should be able to do all kinds of different events within one platform so that you know it, you know how to use it, you know how to leverage it. And of course, needless to say, we do support all of those types. You can set up in-person events, strictly in-person, or strictly virtual within Inventory, but we also make sure that we allow you to host a hybrid event where you can connect those 2 audiences, both in person and virtual, together. Next, we need to, like Barbara mentioned, we need to decide whether we are going to be selling tickets for our event, or are we going to be using event registration. So if we decide to go with any kind of those choices, you can do them both on our platform. So when you create an event, you decide whether you are going to be using tickets and whether you're going to be selling them, or if you would rather go with a simple registration form. That's also an option, again, all in one, that you can use. Next, the next step would be to build a landing page, right? So it's very important to understand that with our platform, when the event is created on our platform, the landing page is created along with it. So it just happens, right? So you create an event, you fill out the information, and then that it's there. You can start using it basically straight away. Of course, we do have options to adjust it to your brand, to change the look and feel of the landing page. So you can change the graphics, you can change the themes, you can go with dark theme, light theme, then you can adjust your branding to the colors that fit either your brand or your event. So you can actually make our generic landing page a little bit your own, like you would like it to look like. And then it's very important to actually fill out our platform, or any kind of platform that you will be using, with event information, right? So you have to go ahead and add information about your speakers, about your schedule, about your partners, exhibitors. When you are doing physical event, it's very important to also include things like floor maps, directions, I don't know, Uber integration, that people can actually find their way around the physical aspect of the event. So yeah, we have it all. It's all there. You can either use it, you don't have to, but you can. It's also a great opportunity to work out with your exhibitors how they want to be showcased within our platform. There are many different things that you can offer them as they support you during your event. Then when you have this event data there, you can start setting up your ticketing or registration, right? So like I said, we support both. You can choose either to sell tickets or to have a registration. So again, it is within our dashboard that you go in there and you create those tickets. You don't have to integrate with anything outside of our platform. So basically, you can create different ticket types. You can have multiple payment processors. The nice thing is that we don't keep your money; it goes straight to you. So anytime you set up your payment processor, you can actually just get that money right into your account. We don't keep it; you can use it straight away. And then you have additional settings within the ticketing that can support you during the whole process. Of course, we have this order management that you can see what's going on, who bought your ticket, what is their status, what's actually going on, how many people bought the tickets, and so on and so on. The same with registration. This is more straightforward, right? Registration is not ticketing. So basically within registration, you are creating this form that people need to fill out when they want to join your event. And within our registration form, you can choose from the predefined questions. You can also create your custom ones. If you actually are doing more events within our platform, you can import questions from previous events. So this is all streamlined and created and designed for you to be very easy. And once you figure out and once you learn how this works, it is very, very easy to actually manage all kinds of different events within our one platform. When you have your events or ticketing or registration ready, you can move on to event promotion. So this is the part where you let your audience know about your event. Everything on the platform is ready. You can actually reach out to your audience. So we offer different ways that you can do it. You can either create email campaigns that you can leverage for in many different cases. We have different types of campaigns that are smart enough to know who to send that email to. You can also use text messages. So you can actually, if you do have phone numbers from your attendees, you can actually communicate with them that way. So up to you how you decide to do it, but you have all of the options here. You can actually pre-plan your event promotion. So you do it once and then it just goes out. You don't have to worry about it. And then, of course, reporting is all in one place. You can look at it whenever you want to. It's, again, all kept in one place. You don't have to go anywhere else. You see who is who and who opened your email, who clicked on your email, all of that. So we're getting closer to the event. We are in the pre-event phase. So those are final touches. So if you do have a virtual component to your event, you can take care of that within our platform itself. We have all kinds of different streaming video content types that you can leverage. this is the time to make sure everything is working and try it out and make sure that everything will go as smoothly as possible. But also it is a moment when you need to think about your attendees. You need to remember about them. So we also give you tools to do just that. When you have the attendees within the platform, you can communicate them with either the email that I mentioned before, but you can also send push notifications, right? So you can leverage our news feature to actually keep in touch with your attendees, and also encourage them to actually go onto the platform and network, engage with other attendees and pre-plan their attendance during the event. And finally, we go live. So again, I'm going to go through how we support you as the event organizer during live event, and then I'm going to focus on the attendees. So starting with the organizer's perspective, I remember very vividly how important the check-in process was, especially check-in process was during the physical live events. Doesn't matter if you have a couple of hundred people or 1,000, it has to go smoothly because this is the first impression people have when they actually get there, right? So is the line long? How long am I going to be standing here? Is it going smoothly? Do they manage it well? And so on and so on. I guarantee that I know that every one of you that even organized one physical event, you know what I'm talking about. So basically, we do support you in that process. So we have the check-in for both the ticketing events, so you can actually check the tickets if the person actually bought a ticket or not. But you can also manage check-in within the event with registration. We also have that option. So doesn't matter if you use ticketing or registration, we do support you with the check-in. And you have two ways to actually manage it. So basically, you can do it yourself within the operator dashboard, but you can also use external check-in. So I know that many of the organizers actually use additional event staff to help them manage the check-in so it goes smoothly. So basically, if you don't want to let those people in your dashboard, you can use external check-in when you just send the link, send the access code, and this is the only thing that they will see is the list of attendees, the option to check somebody in. So that's another way that we support you during that difficult moment of being live and checking people in. And the other tools that we do offer for the organizers is I already mentioned the inventory operator app, so that you do have that option to react to whatever is going on. You can actually just grab your phone, you can send the news straight from the app, you can manage live questions through the app, you can see your survey voting results, all of that, you can see your attendees. So basically every important feature is there, so you don't have to run around with your laptop all over the place, right? So this is meant to support you in that. And then the inventory scanner, like I mentioned, for lead generation. So it works in a way that you can scan QR codes that each of the attendees have, and then you can either use it for lead generation or just tracking people at the physical event venue. And from the attendees perspective, so of course we also have tools for attendees during live event. That's obvious. So what you are using right now is the event space. So this is what we can leverage during online or online aspect of hybrid events. But also we have the mobile app for the attendees strictly, right? So you can access the event information there. You can reach out to other attendees. You can engage through the app. So this is very important during physical events that you have it in your phone, so you don't, because you don't have your laptop with you. So very important to make sure that any kind of technology that you will be using actually has something for the physical attendee at the physical event venue. And another very important aspect of being live and making sure that your event is successful is, like Barbara mentioned, the attendee engagement, right? So it's very important that the people that come to your event, that trusted you enough to actually register or buy a ticket, that they enjoy your event, that they take something out of it, that it's a worthwhile event for them. So we and any good platform, what they should offer you is actually real engagement features that you can leverage during the live event. So not only the communication that I mentioned already, but You have to be able to engage with your attendees through the chat, through the private messages. You need to enable people to be comfortable asking questions. I know in this virtual world, we all forgot how difficult it was for people to actually raise their hand during a live physical event and ask their questions, stand in front of everybody and take the mic and actually ask that question. I am sure that it was difficult for many people. So it's very important that the technology can support them with that, right? So to offer them a tool that they can just sit with their phones and just ask the question quietly, so nobody is paying too much attention to them. I think that is very important to encourage them and to actually make them a little bit more engaged. We also have an option to actually go anonymous. So if you have an event that is very delicate in nature, if you are talking about some sensitive topic, you can even allow your attendees to actually go incognito, be anonymous, and ask their question that way. It's also very important to leverage voting, surveys, any kind of reactions, emojis, right? Everybody loves that. So it's very important to plan for it, to actually make a good plan how you are going to engage your attendees during the event, and then not be afraid to actually use those tools when you have them. And moving on, we arrive at post-event phase, right? So needless to say, this whole engagement and this whole technology, it is there for you to make your life easier, for the attendees' life easier, but also it is there to let you even find out what actually happened during your event, right? So when we are talking about the virtual event, we have it, we know, we see it, everybody's online, we know what they are doing, that's very easy. But when we are thinking about the physical event, it really is crucial that you keep your attendees engaged so that you can figure out what they liked and what they didn't. Because if they're not going to be using your technology, then you will not find out too much about them. So it's again a very important aspect of any kind of technology that should support you during your event management, that they do have good reporting stats, that they give you a lot of information that you can actually use to draw conclusions, to find out what actually happened, what people liked, what they didn't like. Don't be afraid to use the surveys to actually ask for true, real, honest feedback. And if you do keep your attendees engaged, I'm pretty sure they're gonna give it to you, and you can make better. You can make your event better next time you do it. And with that, that's it from my overview of our technology and how it can support you during the organization process. I'm gonna give it back to Barbara now to wrap things up.
Thank you, Joanna, for giving the voice back to me, for a great presentation of Eventry by 6Connex and the capabilities that the event technology has to answer to all these really big challenges that a lot of event organizers face. To wrap up quickly, we've seen the whole event life cycle that I was talking about in the very beginning. And Joanna led us into the answers, technological answers that come up from each part, and how also our solutions can help you with that. Remember that as you're going through the event life cycle, we have you covered. We do answer for all of these questions, and moreover, we have a whole ecosystem of tools fully integrated for in-person, for hybrid, for virtual events. We have also, when it comes to virtual, we have a great 2D Eventry platform, and also 6Connex 3D. So you can have a very complex, I'd say, event experience for your attendees, and to basically choose the form that you want based on the business goals that you're going to achieve, and what your attendees also prefer. So with that, I'm going to wrap our technical and our theoretical part. I'm going to move now to the discussion part. So please make very good use of our live questions tab. If there's anything that you would like to know a bit more, either from Joanna's part or my part, feel free to ask us questions. I'll give you a little bit of time to just cast your votes, think about what you want to know more, and ask you also to share your feedback with us. In a moment, you should be seeing also a button leading to the feedback survey. That will be a great help for us. We'd love to hear from you and know your opinion and your view on this webinar, what you like, what we could have done better, maybe what other topics are interesting for you. And as we're talking about in other topics, we have a next webinar about the Yeti of events. So a good hybrid. Has anyone ever seen that? We're doing that on 26th of April with our great partner, Ringier Axel Springer, Poland. Just scan this QR code and you can go directly to the registration part. And I can see that we already have a few questions. So first question is, what commission do you take if a customer wants to sell tickets on your platform? I love this question, and I'll tell you why, because there is a huge advantage to our platform because we do not take commission from our tickets. So if you have a license within our solution, you can use the tickets and just sell them without any extra inventory commission. There is a standard cost for the usage of the payment processors, but there is no extra charge for our services. So I think that takes a lot of weight from that compared to some other platforms. But that's one thing. And we have if you have any more questions related to that, or you want to talk more about our also pricing, do not hesitate to contact me or any of our colleagues in 6Connex, who will help you out. And next question, I think this is a great question for Joanna. How do you develop new features, and how do you decide on the development?
Yeah, so what we first did when we started is we drew from our own experiences, right? So back then, many years ago, we basically just knew what was needed because we were the event organizers ourselves. But since then, especially during this COVID phase and everything that's been happening, we most importantly just listen to our clients, we listen to our users, we listen to what they are saying and what they are telling us that they need. So it's been a constant cooperation, I would say, with how we develop our platform. And yeah, I think that's the only good way to actually move forward, because in the end, the customers and attendees are going to be using this, right? So better be helpful for them. I would lie if I didn't say that we don't look out for what's going on in the market, right? We do follow the trends. We know what's going on. We know what other platforms offer. But the most important aspect for us is always our voice of our customers.
Thank you. I think, that's the best answer for that question. And one more we have. What is the future of events? Are we going back to in-person events permanently? Oh, wouldn't we all want to know that? I mean, I think the pandemic taught us a very good thing, which is that there's nothing certain about the future, especially in this event industry. But I think the trend that we're going to see right now is that we are going to have a big comeback of in-person events as much as it is possible, because we're simply hungry for interaction, for these handshakes, to meet for a coffee, to even stand. I think we're even looking forward to standing in a line to the coffee place just to have that conversation and interaction with other attendees. So I'm pretty sure this is definitely something that's going to happen, and we're going to experience that. But at the end of the day, at some point, there's going to be this moment of evaluation and we're going to verify whether it truly makes sense for the company, for any company, to do just in-person events. Because let's be honest, the virtual has its benefits. It's not it's never been just a replacement. I think with so many solutions right now in place, there is a lot of options to create a very nice, very engaging, very interactive, interesting virtual events. So I would say that in the long run, it's going to be a mix of all different types of events. Once we satisfy this hunger of in-person interaction, we'll just go to that evaluation, whether what makes sense better, what makes the sense business-wise, and simply end up with that. And then I think we'll reach out to the conclusion that it's a little bit of all that makes it perfect.
Yeah, that's all given if we don't see another wave of pandemic, right? I mean, that's also a big question with, I've heard that in Philadelphia right now, there is a big surge and there are some actions to actually react to that. So we don't know, right? Nobody knows. But what Barbara said, if we assume that COVID is gonna just go away slowly, then I think what Barbara said is on point. I can feel it myself as a human being, that after being closed at home for 2 years, I really want to go out and go to that conference and go to that event and just see people and interact, and we are all humans. So I think this is a big need, that, and we are gonna be seeing this. But in the end, we need to come to a conclusion, what is the best solution for our goals. And I think the virtual aspect will be there forever, because it just makes sense, right?
100%, I agree. And yeah, I think I'm not seeing any more questions. So I think at this moment, thank you for all your feedback, all the questions that you've given us. I still encourage you to share your feedback in the feedback survey. That will be very valuable for us, so that we can simply make better content for you and know what to talk about in the future ones. So once again, thank you. First of all, thank you all of you who joined us today. Thank you, Joanna, for sharing your expertise, your experiences. And yeah, and I hope to see you all again.
Thank you also. Thank you.